inside and cite courtroom evidence. It's 809. 809. Your Honor, ladies and gentlemen, the higher courts, the highest courts, by which Stephen Van Schofer is a party, and not just a party, a witness, accounting individual, as to share and stipulate. This is being recorded and transcribed for quality assurances. If we would or could, thank you, sir. To say a party to a crime, a capital crime in progress as well, as he's trying to get, Stephen is trying to, is the individual who bear witness to the image that can speak, that can intercept nuclear war, like Seal Beach has done. And in addition, Donald Trump has brought forward nuclear wars, in fact, as this left side of the transcription is a little bit behind, so we'll just keep the audio going. We'll close this out, but we'll bring these evidence exhibits, these individuals, government, as you see, I say, I catch the act. Joe Perez orchestrating a hit over here at Jackson Isle in the act. They're here in the building trying to murder me. Who are they? Phony family members. As we debriefed, all we needed to be debrief. We debriefed you, Mr. Brennan. We debriefed you, Mr. Trump, in the act of subpoenaing in the act. This is a reflector field technology. Ways and means of catching murderers, bad guys. In fact, from a witness accounting, like bad judges on call, pretending they don't know what they done and did in the act, for phony baloney laws that they're breaking, or is that a stipulation to psych breaking laws that they never meant to keep and uphold? Right here in the building, as I see, I say, and catch in the act, you too, and Ramiro Gonzalez also. What do you know? Ricky Arroyo, especially. You, Benjamin Netanyahu. CI directors need to get rear-ended or have rear-end sex. More important. It's called rectal insemination rape. You're partying too, and party two is more important. That man right there, this man right there, Rigoberto, you three, and the act two. Together, in fact, on their property. On their properly identified. Wasn't good enough, huh? On the planet, the planets as well. Where did you want to take it? Not really a judge. Reflector field technology. The judge that they blamed it on or decided overnight, and this has been going on for quite a while, years, but the judge that decided last night, this morning, to send Ricky Arroyo over here in police uniform. See, Ricky Arroyo being as we described clearly and accurately, a mole of such a pre-planned infused mitochondria DNA. You understand very, very well what that means, what it is. The judges are many, especially Joe Perez, Wendy Lindley, And you, in the act, Manny, a PSC, you in the act, guns drawn nearby, you in the act especially, these individuals need to be erased, taken out, killed for treason. We'll submit, you do too, Westminster, phony police badges, ponytails, psychiatrists that don't listen and obey when we ask you not to be murdering, and not to be murdering in a devil manner, a devilish manner. That means rear end sex or rectal insemination. They call it infuse. Somebody else want some? To say how complicated, not very complicated, this situation is? Want to throw in their 2 cents? An image that you see, I saw, set up court. It sets up court. You're a liar looking for a fight and a gun. You too, looking for a gun and intimidating prison, jail institutions to say different. Intimidating means, intimidating ways and means to lie. We'll get into this discussion by asking CIA directors, whoever, however, to misdiagnose Steve here and kill him. That's what you did, Huntington Beach Police, from day one. Even before that, did I know? Every one of these individuals, if they wanted to care to come forward on their own and deny acute hearing perception or telepathy 24/7, 365 in the last 25 years, let's say. They can speak right here if they don't have a threat and a death threat to make or insinuation that Steve didn't stipulate here or is making a stipulation. It's not a host in any way, shape, or form to trying to prevent us from turning into these kind of creatures, for one, which Ricky Arroyo does and did, would rather do to everyone as much as Beto already did if we weren't here. Nuclear wars. I want to fight about it too. And I know it too. You want to see nuclear wars way too many times to run and flee and hope you kill yourselves, everybody, and nobody finds out. That's your government right here for you. Local, state, municipal, federal. You're not a judge, I told you. This court, higher courts. Reason being, its stipulation being, when you murder, as much as this CIA director did, this FBI director, all of you together, under oath, under penalty of perjury, when you murder, we're not talking about 5 or 10 or 20 or 50, like he doesn't want to understand. He being James Clapper, another individual implicated, like James Pink, probation, funny, not funny today. My phone would surely ring for a capitulation that is warm, inviting, peaceful, friendly, but yet that's not what has occurred. Oh, but you know it is. You know, it does try to be a corroborating element in you murder every living thing in creation, too. And want to threaten me and that kind of sound. It's an affirmative, sir. No murdering every living thing in creation. You are not any a threatening remark from this guy. Beto, huh? Do I want threatening remarks? I'm not allowed to be comfortable. I'm 60 years old at my own place of residence, so to say, because someone wants me to be agony or victimized as his identity to assume, quote unquote. So caught in the act are Lori Arroyo swearing to God she killed Steve. She would. For FBI directors, beginner just got to the rodeo, lying, conniving Don Trump in on it all the way. No, sir, murder all you can. Laws don't count. Gods don't count. Prophets don't count. Objection don't count. Complaints don't count. Murder all you can. And get involved in something you are not supposed to be getting involved with unless you had something good to say and you weren't getting in the way, quote unquote. So hearing millions of sheets and millions of ledgers, of millions of informational bits, of pages, and very many hundred thousands of ledger, line ledger, at this address alone, Stephen Van Schofer, and that would be at the Scribd address alone. And we'll type it for you in case you're handicapped or didn't want to double check that someone or something had the time, took the time out. A real honor, a real ladies and gentlemen of a real higher courts, the court, please, took the time out to invoice, catching the act, possible retreating in a minute or two. These and many more. Bob Anderson in the act in the building, trying to foil our efforts to save ourselves from the fate they already derailed our efforts too many times. Romero Gonzalez seems to think, fight about it, fight about it, you seem to think, is the way. Like you're in the act doing. Same with Manny and Telecare. Murder all you can with these kind of flight ships that they used or don't need to use or use. Manny did. So did Romero Gonzalez in a K. A case? A K, huh? Got a fast one to pull on us. So by going to Scribd and entering Stephen Van Schofer or Antzee Dancy or Steve Arroyo or William P. Williamson, any individual, any lawyer firm, any want, need, or sense of urgency or safety, need or precaution or information missing in an effort to remove the doubts. Remove the doubts like this doesn't want to understand. Thinks this is a funny farm, the psych. misconstrue as much as you can and did and still doing you the same. And I beg to differ. This isn't Stephen Van Schofer, aka Stephen Arroyo, a funny farm that you wouldn't want to understand, yet you interject everything to do with a threatening remark or remarksmanship. Let's do this to you instead. And who should be upset at who? At we can communicate this way for a reason. Phony judge got something to say. Well, Your Honor, ladies and gentlemen, higher courts accord, sir, in an effort to make a more fuller contribution to the safety and the courts where the emulsified, we're not talking about just a little bit of a brain area of assuming an identity or two of somebody. We're talking about nebulas and bigger by Sandra Hutchens type people and these people on the loose, engaging in rectal and sentiment ways they get their nut by killing nebulas worth a orgasm. You're party to every police, every uniform, every naysayer, like you in the act, pretending you don't know, but you're laughing in my face, and psych and expletive. It's funny, it doesn't matter. A funny farm is where you need to go. So by assuring no individual that could come forward, hasn't come forward and witnessed the accounting, that you killed yourselves, every one of you. We saved you too many times. Too many times, death threat trier. Too many times, name, number, and let's hear what you have to say. Put your name, if it isn't a threatening remark, if it isn't nothing to do with phony warrant, come in. Nothing to do with phony writ, come in. You're not supposed to. That kind of tone. Stipulating, threatening demeanor, manner, as opposed to you contend otherwise on any of these stated or stipulated or outrageously, unfortunately, repeated recidivist efforts to not only railroad our complaint, every living thing in creation, you did hear right, nebulas worth their need to get off. They may look like they're a 5 or 6 foot person, like a Stevie here at your service. Material fact. They may look like one, Steve, through Steve's eyes. A very, very nice, very, very accurate description in witness accounting I see we have up. Being recorded with audio, too, to double check. Lori nearby trying to murder Steve already got paid. And how many people got paid to uphold never life? Never life is what you're upholding. And you made a mockery of this one up here, didn't you? So if I shared and stipulated you're not to leave court till this is resolved, but yet somebody thinks it was okay to come over here and make a try again and again and again and again and again and again, regular routine. In an effort to keep the culpability aspect down at 30 or 40 at the most, somebody doesn't like that idea. and CIA clothers. Or phony family got other ideas. Why it was mentioned, debriefed earlier in the while at this situation. By who dared to come over up and testify otherwise was debriefed too. So to say you owe me your lives, pay up, you're not nice, you already did the damage to others, you're trying to do me up, infuse is rectal insemination, rape, kill, or assume a person's identity by raping them, rear end style. They might look like they're a regular individual, like I said, like you don't care to talk because you already did that, or want it done all you can. Like Joe Perez, for example, and Wendy Lindley also in the act, and county workers, and county aggression, and county guns to make a mockery. And you object to that, huh, Steve? Yes, I do, sir. And you're a nice guy, huh, Steve? Yes, this is when the beginning days. We got some of the latter days. We would want to know isometrics, fingers like Sistine Chapel, has anything to do with courtroom exhibits, evidence as a sign, wouldn't we? And stipulate. Reason being, when you're as guilty as Ramiro Gonzalez, Sandra Hutchens in the act, and being a very dangerous individuals, they, and all to do with however, you don't get caught and keep it coming, the county legislator, Sacramento, official note, they want to threaten me with something in the mail to say, oh, don't do this, don't do that, and we keep, because they're caught too. They're caught too. They do the same thing. As they might look like a lady, my eyes. They're in disguise. And this was the fine gentleman that's been working with us. And you are not allowed to come on the property anymore. Neither is management. As a matter of fact, this is no longer really the United States. As many times as you nuked it, that defaulted. You defaulted everybody's life and lives and limb and property. U.S. government, where are we with you? A county worker pretending all he could psych inside an expletives is berserk. Steve over here, and no such thing as either an image that can intercept, that can communicate telepathically with the whole lot of you, where that is another material fact, material facts. Let's fight about it. Got something else to decide and isn't happy about it. And so stipulating, and so saying and sharing material facts. Good men are happy about acts of God. Bad men are not. So we have thousands, and some of these reports for additional information, data the CIA doesn't want to collect, doesn't know when they're supposed to use clandestine and when they're not, because they're too involved in ream them and kill them and assume their soul. And Ricky's doing that too here. That's why he's here. He got a new job. The worst murderer of all of them from the beginning, before Beto took abuses of his flying saucer togetherly with them, was Ricky. It was shared, went around and about way, reaming everyone in the butt. Invisible capers was the witness accounting. All of a sudden, they're out reaming and doing other people and other civilizations, and a parasite flu strain. It's so terrible of a crime. The police chief over here in Westminster wanted to make him the police from a musician over here in Las Vegas career. All of a sudden, he's over here trying to stalk Steve and to murder him. And knowing we asked, shared, stipulated to put him in prison and make sure he's castrated or summarily end him, knowing how the good majority of the population was infused that way by Ricky alone, behind my back, and the pictures of malice to stipulate that, circle that material fact, circle it. Unless there's a transcription or a stenographer that doesn't want to be seen, heard, understood its work, and seem to flee their positions like fleeing felons at court. We set up courts. Let's go see. You act as fleeing felons. I see Marshal Deputy Service, server in the building, serving dry runs, way too many, long, upset. Last 2 or 3 years, Steve has been able to get very, very better at this than before. Stipulation being given for they who murder very much so, and pre-planned phony families, phony friends is the issue, like Kathy is. And all the extravagant money that went to supposedly this program for this, that, and the other reasons. Everyone and anyone that would bear false witness and do the evilest thing instead, like you're in the act of doing, got paid and is paying them off to bear false witness and try to murder us, especially Steve. You're not at a table, you're at a fucky word that was used, stipulated, that it's front lines warfare. We're going to have to do war. If that sounds like it means something to you, they want to break the door down. Like you know you're in the act of being caught. Phony member of societies, all of you. Phony family regime. Phony police. Phony battalions in it. Phony Bob Big Boy associates. And all of these, and then some, and then about 10 times more of those in this one alone. saying to give, share a better, more fuller meaning, better consensus of you wouldn't want to read and understand a little better. I know what you did. I was here and I was invisible all the while. Got other ideas. That material fact also. That B6 on your forehead. That telecare. Let's see if we have a way of running the audios here. Stipulated one moment, please, Your Honor. Ladies and gentlemen, higher courts, highest courts, higher courts. Accord. So saying, watching you. In the act, guilty parties. Crazy, too. Mentally insane. Will stipulate. This man is not apt to be lying about it, though, is he? If it wasn't isometric fingers in his own right, and the right of others that may or may not have had a say in the matter. That insurer, please. Do yourself a favor, please. Do yourselves a favor, please. Do not put Steve in a position to stipulate all encumbrances. You gave up. You surrendered. You're an impropriety to every encumbrance. That want to fight about it, too. What do you think? Nuked hundreds of thousands of times, even an hour? You think that's something to be a contemptuous mocker? But you do, all of you. Pretend to be phony, baloney, whatever excuse you call yourselves as in on it tenants in the act. In on it police, in on it whoever, however, can do Steve up, taint the bread lines, the bread shelves, the store shelves with poisonous killing ingredients or ways and means of getting back and killing Steve because you're caught. Huntington Beach Police, every police on the force, especially to say, period, next paragraph, material facts. Material facts. I didn't ask you to make a death threat and slam down a hammer. I'm not a murderer. Phony judge saying they're not a murderer, wanting to come up and laugh and make a mockery of this and do the same. To say the insane asylum, or to do the same as we've already discussed in the first 15, 20 minutes here. A ballpark idea. So younger years, we catch you right there, Huntington Beach, especially in the act. Handy is his name, and quite a few, all of them, in the police assistant captain's area. We wanted to kind of keep more of the culpable parties or responsible parties. And if I don't want to mention Dale Mason's or Mr. Sanchez or J.B. Case's names, is that what you want to say? And make death threats with whoever, however, has a bad attitude about it? So every girlfriend you had or thought was a girlfriend, Steve, Ricky in the building now, a police uniform at Westminster, yet knowing and hearing our pedestal right here as we speak telepathically as the news channels and stations involved in a blackout and a lie as well. A lie in the act. You want to go to CNN or do you want to go to KABC? I'll take you there. My clients, our clients, we represent, representative of. You're not eight. Or do we want to go to courts, phony courts, or mental health building, and people look at them, have them subpoenaed, or both, so they can know why they deserve to go to jail and all you deserve to die before you go out killing some more. Especially in the context of Sandra Hutchens alone and quantum figuratives, their way of getting off. I said exactly that right. You want to die, it's much better that the caught in the act, psych, share, and try to corner me and off me, and they do a nebula's worth and want to give other bigger size and dimension and sinful characteristics by aiding and abetting in their and Ricky's, all unknown behind Steve's and a lot of people's back, double size to live their life as a parasite so huge and so sadistically and undeniably, no, so just so sadistically and so much a capital crime, criminal hiatus in accordance to the laws, statutes, U.S. Code of Justice, the Penal Code, the California justices were mistaken because they too are double-sided to live their lives and want to say, I ain't a murderer. But you are disruptive. And so when a time came to chalk this up as so compelling, funny, friendly, quote unquote, those words, please, and stipulate that, please, in clear, good, plain writing in English, so compelling. Let's go here and go get the California Supreme Court, or we'll go to local area. We'll usually get these images here. You want videos? We got videos too. Every judge, Like I'm lying. I don't see it and hear it. Like you just did. Anything to do and everything to do with let me lie and procrastinate so that more of these murders can be put in place. Let me ask somebody with a gun to lie for you and take them into custody. Every one of them.
So please put the camera down now, or I'll have my court.
Illegal order. Acts of gods that you're guilty. Funny friendly, we did have up. But Westminster, Huntington Beach, and phony baloney wit court, supposedly a court, not wanting to conform at all in any way, shape, or form, not even wanting to assist, or you could be doing a better job, pass the baton. That's never good enough, is it? It wasn't. So by holding a suspended animation type of reflector field technology, and that would be a scenario, a ways or means, or a characteristic. I didn't say Don was free to go. I said to put Don into custody, not to ask Don to think and do something different. And I just said to take you into custody right there because we tried, as we did, to work things out. But all the while, murder Steve every 2 minutes, 2 seconds, 20 minutes, figure of speech, too much, trying to murder us and murder all you can. And when I'm good and ready to put Don up, I'll put Don up. I told you Marshal Service as well, and shared. That's where we gotta want to go. Stipulated to take him out because I didn't have time, and I already asked you too many times, Marshal Service. You too take out. You know you just committed treason. You know you just abused your position in authority. And we told you, shared, and stipulated telepathically. Mind control, like as if in the Jane's weekly much desired weapon, it's not really a weapon to talk things over from Steve's side of it. I disagree with everything, no such thing as table that you're here to supposedly protect and serve. No murdering. First table of law, is that a material fact? Table. No murdering. That one. Want to come over and strong arm or manipulate away. Nuclear ambitions instead of talk things over. In the act, too. Are we going to want to flee from court? Again, transcription leader, ring. Is that what your aims are, Steve? No, my aims are. Steve's the only one about this, right? So they need to be taken. Those are custodies. Her. That's a custody. What's a custody? No idea, huh? What you said today? Forensic don't want a job anymore, do you? Note the time. Sunday. Forensic got other ideas, is all you look for. And fight us. Use whatever you got. That's why the killed they at that junction, at the cells, joined other cells to create a very, very bad mutation. We needed an affirmative, sir, friendly. Oh, wow, okay, do a good job. But B6 on the forehead doesn't like it gift wrapped for him. Do you? Bailiff's on call. Telling lies right now. Like you did. He did. Every everyone you're trying to inflame and bring into this situation, especially doctors, pretend to be doctors, phony baloney diagnoses seekers that you are party to and did, every one of you that want to come forward, deny other ideas with colored people in the building trying to murder us, stealing our money, stealing monies, and predispositioning whoever, however, to murder me in the act. And this, in honor, please, up here, if I could or would, you're not an honor, neither are your local officers. And you're no effort to sell the deal instead of unsell the deal. And physical violence, murder attempting. Trying to say Steve's the violent one, and did say that. To share a stipulation when you murdered so much, it was shared again 24/7, 365, 26 years, everyday affair, telepathically. That you're in denial and you're a liar. Everyone in on it. And to stipulate everybody, let's do everybody's like that in murders. This is a state, a satellite state to do everything off. Creation, Steve, did you know that? No such thing as real inmates. Do I want to see? So death threat tries, and Ricky Arroyo on the loose, knowing he is one of the, that is one of the, togetherly is one of the worst of worsts. Like I say, to kill your side first, not my side. If I see and hear you're trying to murder Steve with phony baloney, color of flag, emphasis even. And as I see, I say I catch every individual here is in on this. Wants to murder Steve and lie about all the information that's been passed the last 25 years that you're stupefying the material facts. Dale Mason, Huntington Beach Police, Lori Arroyo as well. People thinking they're moving into the building or buying the building, or whoever, however, can put Steve out instead of pay the man do the work. No such thing as impunity damages. No such thing as a real lawyer. Material facts. And what do I mean by a real lawyer, Steve? When you murder like these, and you, and her, and lie as well, like you're doing, and have no sense of boundary lines, or no sense of direction as well as when to move forward, when to go back, when to stop, how a respondent, these kind of words, yes, that I could use, but not only to see what you've been tricking anyone that was nice and being nice and would stand a chance of. I tell you what, we got maybe then, but any kind of collaborative area of friendly, funny, to try to get this to go back this way. You're right, there might be something out there, heaven with this, not down, or do everything off. If nebulas was the mention, common sense, polite. You didn't lay a hand and thrash anybody with your hands physically, Steve? No, sir. So, in an effort to pass the baton and put a few 5 or 10 or 20 of them in jail, including Don Trump, unfortunately, and that is very unfortunate. Somebody wants to, all of you, that you can drum up whoever, however, especially this man doing much of the damage, and Wendy Lindley together. And monies that came being divvied up by the management alone here at the building. Anthony Rackakaus and John Morlock's interests to lie about it and murder all the heck you can. Say, you appear in front of me and you're not on level ground, you're up here. Steve is on level ground. So to be mad at Steve for the image or the God figure did not summarily execute you, the eye for not you, or yeah, but they're mad at Steve, and obviously they do not want to fit in and make the changes. And when it was shared and stipulated to pass the baton, you missed and fumbled the football every time. You forgot to pay the man so he can go out shopping with a nice gal type and let you see, well, you got to do better. And that's where we would rather want to be with this insurer, making making a mockery of our efforts to bypass and just go to the insurer claims adjusters. You don't get it, do you? In the act. So a security clearance above all the rest, with him and the God figure. Steve forgot to murder, Millie for one, and that exempt again, that exempt again, that exempt again. When you nuked each other up, I don't care. It's on the loose. Like color people don't want to understand nuked, and other people don't want to understand nuked. And other people don't want to understand of defense against your own self-inflicted nuking. SEAL beach commanders. Don Trump thinks it's funny. You want to see? And nuke us is funny? They do want to see. You did want to see too many times. Almost everyday affair the last 6 months. And Steve want to get people back on track. And cute, nice, love. So, a consensus. You're not we the people again. That's why we shared and stipulated fecal enzymes right here. FBI director, gun people. No, that ain't going to work. No matter what, however you cook the cake, just pretending to find out about this. Got something different to argue and lie about. You should have nuked him and let him feel longer. It hurt and left him in, so I could have. So catch him burning in hell like I saw you doing. Oh, I'm way bigger than that. I ain't afraid. Let's fight. Circle that. That's their contention. I would cite and share, stipulate because they don't have a say because they murdered. And Steve does have a say. So when we try to cover B and stipulate there, those that might need a say in the matter or be protected by a say in the matter or did not text 714-597-4384, a friendly text could make or break the case. But as we see, I say, not one trace, not one person. You think that's a defense? To cover B, never? That's what they say in psych and expletive. Even in Russia, all the while speaking English. Is that a stipulation to make? Sure is, Your Honor, ladies and gentlemen, High Court's Accord. Even in Germany, it's cold. It's not really cold today. Speaking of English as well. Mexico, Spanish, speaking of English also. No such thing as real, seriously, dual diagnosis persons either right here. Invisible people got other ideas, had other ideas. Circulating, stipulating. So let's go here. Let's take a few more photos. I don't say to take it down. I say you're to answer the affirmatives or turn yourselves in and do your time. No murdering. And if you count to 1 or 3 or 50 or as much money as you stole from us, that was directed to go here, that was a loss of all your encumbrances, everyday affair. Assessor, county assessor. But a need to want to see every encumbrance lost for good is actually where we're at with this. County aggression. As long as Steve doesn't get any, let us all die that way trying and murdering and laughing in our faces. Is that something you can all believe in and trust in? So no idea where we're at with this, huh? Was Mr. Police Chief in on this? And way too many other capers to allow to walk free again. Don't want him to walk free or them to walk free anymore. Not the other way around. Because no such thing as everyone anymore is just about finalized because of this man and Ricky Arroyo and Rigoberto Jimenez. Telecare don't tell, people don't come home anymore, or wasn't, or when we were trying to get him back and bringing him back to come home in recent times. All to see you do pull a fast one on me, us, like you did, all to do with my safety and value my life. May not be all to do in your area of you're too guilty to have Steve on payroll, we asked way back. But employ Ricky, the world's worst murder killer identity assumer scalpeler, when you steal their rape them and steal their souls. Also, Rigoberto scalpel is also cadaver and all. The smell of roasted cadaver very much present. Last few months, these individuals trying to scalpel and cadaver and all. Better than these guys used to do it in order to get all in ones. So I'm not afraid of Steve, is all I know, and I'm not kidding, is all he psychs and sides and S bombs. And I agree, and circle that. If I was as big as double sided to live their life as lying, you know nothing about what we're talking about, got other ideas to talk about, double sided to live their lives. Got other things to talk about other than you're not really a 5 or 6 foot individual as it may appear in accordance to Steve's education and how education is not accurate here too and teaches the laws, teaches the devil side of invisible police all the while. Not, it doesn't teach that. It manipulates a way of education like the in on its students. Everybody is the funniest thing to be trying to kick up, and everybody does those things. Response team, defense. And so you make a mockery and laugh. Left laughed. What did you do? So by monitoring him, the police chief's anger, and I know you're caught too. Oh yeah, at least I am not the guilty party, and you guys are. And the reason we do it like this, through windows, the guilty of murder, genocide, atrocities, each and every laughing, need to fight about it, lying, need to fight about it, not wanting to stipulate even as much as make a motion based on they're not qualified or we only see a one track mind over here, and that is do Steve up one way or another and free for all, whatever happens, happens, bearing in mind the very much so the hiatus and the cause of action of missing stars, colonies, nebulas, phony doctors, every one of you, and missing the point, emulsify the stars, the planets, the children, whole, the core, every creepy living thing, its inventions, and think you got something to say to me, right, pal? So you're a security clearance you were, had they been reasonable and decent enough to regard the laws, especially the class 3 felonies, no murdering. So by using money to uphold never life in the act and uphold whoever can make a mockery and falsely barge in here, as I told you to kill all of you because of that reason, and never have mercy on you, and not any old found you in hibernation, brought you back only to see you continue doing it, these atrocities, and growing bigger and bigger, more worse, recidivism wise. That's why you all need to go. Especially anybody say I got a tablet in my hand or whatever, especially Ramiro Gonzalez's butt on the loose. Had you had we have seen real justice and real yielding decency, but that isn't what we see here. Need a phony everything to do with Washington D.C. open close clap on clap off atmospheres at my will, at trying to manipulate a screw over my will every and any which way you could to ace out everyone else in the world with the local areas, is the local areas too, till could care less did. I did care and I didn't want that aced out of their life, breath, wanting us to try to push them and resituate their DNA. They're more suitable that Shannon, everyone here at homes, everyone, every tenant, every teller that knows what I mean. You're infusing a escalation. That's what you did. Westminster Police, Huntington Beach Police, Sheriff Department units. Oh, you have super ESP too. So therefore, yours is to ream and do up life. Mine isn't. So you're good for nothing and need to be watched and need to be taken out because you threatened, you signaled them, Joe Perez, to fight us and nuke us right there at the nuke station. Not to mention, or to mention, nuke in their loins, magic abuses. Don Trump, for example, that Treasury Department, pay up, please. If you don't mind, make sure Steve has at least a police sergeant salary, or at least 1,000 or two ahead of the situation. But that was asking too much. Wendy Lindley needs to put. We asked her to keep out of this and stay out of the way, but that ain't what you did. No such thing as a real man. No such thing as a real man that doesn't understand a priority. What did I just say? Did I say to keep Wendy Lindley out of the way? You heard what I said and did perpendicular. Murderer, killer, all of you together. I didn't ask you to come look. I told you to take Perez in, Joe T. Perez, make sure he gets the excruciating, not do more rectal insemination and go off the table and think you can go around and about, screw up this atmosphere any way you can, die trying, and never come home again, at least case scenario. As long as Steve doesn't get anything good, but a F-bomb over, bad place to ever never understand or let anybody else understand what not to ever do. That's why Joe Perez is in the act. Beto as well, abusing saucer crafts. And they're out murdering everyday affair anyway within the realm of no sir, murder all you can, laws don't count, and laughing in my face at unlawfully assemble again. Even you, Judge Carter, unable to fathom or to put into a context or to come together. Did I ask you to stop murdering? Did I say murdering is the issue? Yes, you did, sir, Your Honor. I heard that very well and quite clearly. It's more recent. A 60-year-old right here. Who's telling the truth? Don't ask any of these guys, anybody around here to talk. They all should be dead, like the laughing mockery makers and seekers to murder me that caused too many firmaments to get blown up. Is why is what. And you're not all not worth it. Every one of you assembling for phony church detail tricks. And I ask you not to escalate and make a mockery of it. Phony, phony ways of getting and pretending to be inseminated or pregnant. Got other ideas. So by take yours out first, and theirs too, and theirs together, and circle that hiatus of unlawfully assembled and wanting to grow. I said you are and were and did unlawfully assemble to predicate and do everything in the world's creations that you're never supposed to be doing. That's why I want them ended in a way that we, the service of the higher courts and the victims can feel more assured safety practices, and the courts that we represent and are representative bring this reflector field technology, ways of exacting contentions, stipulating so. Do I need to see more? Oh, yeah, you do. They need to feel the excruciating eye for an eye they deal out. See, they have to have an understanding what excruciating means, like every Picard and Hutchens together, every doctor, every phony diagnosis, every phony leasee that didn't want to keep Steve 1,002 ahead because there's no such thing as a real lawyer, just a lying, murdering, fast one to pull the rug from under their own to say a structure, to say a architecture, to say a phony president's decals, other ideas, to say, no, I never heard anything about a 24/7, 365, 26 years, everyday affair, telepathically, and lie on that one, like you're still doing, saying and a detachment. You did, and still as summoning for whoever, however, to do Steve up in the building. I didn't say to do that. And obviously, you need to be excruciatingly punished, like the particulars who do and did say to do that, because only the eye for an eye excruciating you dished out to others can really make a more fuller contribution, Your Honor. The eye for an eye excruciating these, getting in front of our efforts for any which reason to obstruct, deny, victimize, be loud, abusive, get Steve cussing or shouting in any way, shape, or form. Those defendants, Your Honor, need the need for eye for an eye excruciating in their parts, which means all people in the building, all people in telecare involved in Steve's case. Why did you go discuss my business to other tenants and pass flyers out? We have a policy of not discussing other people's business. Telecare coordinators, Damien's on the loose, doing the same thing with any girlfriend you ever had, raping them and making them theirs. When you go to call them again and say hello, it ain't the same. And thinking that they're one up, like Perez, and laugh behind your back because they weren't killed. And I told you to take them into custody a long time ago, killed in excruciating eye for an eye remands, only that they had given out to others. And because that wasn't done, someone's being too lenient. You're being too lenient. Well, especially you right there, helping whoever, however, will help the bad guys, General Dunsford. Play stupid about it. How come? Why is it? How is it? Mr. Clancy or whoever's responsibility it was, Ricky Arroyo now, want to make trouble for you, is where you're at? Or whoever's responsibility to pull aside administrative ops and tell them that we had a Steve and we had to tone down the murdering in the context we have a enzyme sepulture, sodomic, enzyme sepulture were way back with the first hints, even as if we shared and stipulated past a year. No, sir, instead of affirmative, sir. That is not what I want to hear or need. I didn't hear anything. You have to kill us all excruciating eye for eye we deserve because I'm just going to joke around, get mad at you, and try to kill you, Steve, and say you're the problem. And there's no such thing as omnipotent creator telepathy all the while. 25 years, everyday affair, and I'll take my chances because if you're not around, maybe the entity won't be around either. Or by calling Steve a liar or acting out as if Steve the bad guy, And knowing who that man is and what he does, and knowing Steve's upset that this guy sold and it's double sided went whoosh with either intrusive capers or a tap that went south. And that is one of the very most dangerous of all of them. Again, telling a big lie, and police chief are willing to agree. Hey, he's on my side now. I want him to go against you, Steve. Not any old big lie. As he denies it and lies right here to my face, our faces as well, with whoever, however, Inga or any other infiltrator at Kennedy's discretion, not what I said to do. The phony baloney you signed antics from day one cost so many billions, even more, trillions to each their discourse to murder or do away people and their souls like you're still doing, and it shows your mama got something to do or psych or share or stipulate or maneuver or foul play any way, shape, or form verdict. Yes, we brought and we're bringing people back. We is not them or him or Ricky's antics, reamed even mama way back when and caused telecare. And when we brought her back recent times, hiding from us, very many other people, because you pulled them aside, didn't even assure us of them that you give them SSI when a resurrection phase came, but trying to hold them and bribe them to work against us, turning Ray into one of these things because of Ricky's antics and Telecare's antics to use magic, sorcery, ream kill, ream kill, ream kill, ream kill, rectal insemination style, devil style, 1,000 times an hour. Telecare for you, helping to confuse. So Steve the bad guy at this because millions and billions of dollars also, some money that you're to stay there at courtside at the tables, not to come over here. I shared, I stated, I stipulated for what it's worth. I could be in very much danger too, but I want to stipulate it for the record. Even if suggestive, you're to stay there, not come over here. I'm not the one with the problems, the murder problems. To answer a with a Y at your end, I passed the baton was kind of the information. So Steve can go shopping, just one thing, can't really fall in love too much too easy. Because whoever, the next thing you know, the Seventh Fleet and everybody else in Invisible Realm are behind my back with your old lady that you might happen to actually, have a little bit of a relationship with. Stipulating. So if to that junction you think a CIA director has anything other to this guy over here to that junction, what do you think he would say and did say? When him, Beto, the 21st of February, 2017, and Manny as well, laugh in our face, think it's funny, want to do more evil if given a chance. No, sir, that is what you're doing. Trying to laugh in our face, too. So sure. Like you're doing, a bad attitude. Every bailiff, every phony pontiff. A prophet ranks over a pontiff anyway. Stipulating, everybody knows that. Not to murderers like you. And since you murder so much, you die first and sacrifice first, then whoever, however, needs a sacrifice, and it wasn't a la leche deal. See? Want to fight, murder, and lie is all you're doing here. Pull a fast one. I got to babysit. If somebody has to babysit, it's way, way too nice. For murderers, they can't control themselves. They keep their hands to themselves. Like you, every one of you. Don't want to say, everybody, let's make sure this is about everybody. That isn't what I want to say this is all about. But that is what you want to say it's all about. Because you want to make escalations the key point about this. Instead of stop murdering, in the context of as many as you did and are doing, and want to double check that you can intercept my treasury SSI check any way you can. I got an idea. In the act, as many times as you saw, we said you saw Wendy Lindley and your drugs to use as an excuse. Joe Perez the same. Every police captain nearby, police chief as well. No, sir. How can I get away with being a devil troublemaker, murder, and hide the whole, stay, my authority vested in whoever thought they'd come over this morning and bring more escalation here. Murder all you can, doesn't matter. That is what's so funny about them. It's never a funny matter to do that. To real decent individuals that don't murder like no tomorrow, like these aren't, that we pictured here, making a mockery in the face. Not only the representation of the defense for the victims, but in outright, you're that too. So is he. No, sir, murder all you can. Want to be thorough, so I never ever compare again. That's all you're about. You also. And it shows. No, let's fight. I disagree. Let's fight. Bedbugs got to make a try somehow or another. And the subject of, like I am speaking, didn't ask you to disrupt guilty parties. The subject of, you take the baton, do a better job, stop murdering, and a mind of its own. Again, a mind of its own. Again, a mind of its own. Missing the point, trying to blame it on Steve because they're mad at the God. Missing the point again and again and again and again. No, we don't know no image or map. No, I don't know anything about it. Like to lie a lot, police chiefs. Did I ask you to taint whatever, however, pay whoever, however, to do us away? No, I didn't. Did anyone else? So you need, so you don't want us to. I disagree. Is all you got to say? A rowdy bunch of disagreeers that need to be put somewhere that didn't state and stipulate or motion before no contendo was entered at every film we ever made last 3 years. At every 714-486-6430 was the old number. Could have intercepted, and I tell you what, and even an anonymous conciliation. Oh, Steve the rowdy bad one. To think that's no man's land or get a invitation for whatever to happen. That ain't how I have it. Because stipulating your honor, lady number higher court, court, sir, I shared. You're not a higher court. You're not an honor. You're not a stipulation that you made personally to contend otherwise. It's so funny. You want to hear something else? Want to try something else? But I'm on another call. It's not a funny joke either. Trying to miss the point of all encumbrances. So I've got money to give to them to do you away. Look at me. I'll screw anyone, anyway, how to go the other way with it. Is all you're trying to say in psych and expletive. Is that what you want to make a funny mockery out of somebody? So I disagree. Needs to be eye for an eye and ended first. I share. Damien needs to be ended first. You need to be ended first. You asked them to come over here. You asked them, plotted with them, caregiver, to fuse and infuse a different way, huh? Up our behind. And no, sir, is on the loose. Plotting whoever, however, can do us away and spreading more of that. No, sir, let's fight about it. Very, very terrible thing. Sidesmanship and capital crimes. The law's the law. No, it ain't. Let's fight about it. I was never sworn in. That's why you can't let individuals like you can't let them go or release them. Your Honor, you can't release them. And by letting them walk away, like the bailiff and marshal service does do. You did do that. Marshal server from the top, federal, into the bottom, the bailiff server services. Then when find out they're a try in the act that gets caught, they'll upset they turn into a sentry detail and get all upset and flee their post. Seems to be the routine. So it gets uglier than this, very much so. At the building here should the talk be to annex to eminent domain because Antzee's been kind of parked here. And you're asking Damien, acts as if it's Damien's to do, away us, and laughing in our face to break the law. And I would want all of you to go to hell because you're aggravating mayhem, sir, and you're a guilty party. And I asked you to stay over here and turn yourselves in at courtside until the affirmative, sir, verdict was reached. No murdering. And if you need more particular information about the quantum numerical integers of how many you're doing still away, and if there's any way, shape, or form to get any kind of conversation or information passed, not behind my back though, with phony pharmacies that are poisoning my medication now as I speak, and you're laughing in on it, phony deputies. Get this far along, this much recidivism. I always want eye for an eye, excruciating, the day dealt out. So wanting to fight about it because because I disagree wants to murder and not I tell you what I do. No, I tell you what I do deals. And you put it up there for them. Yes, I did. As their attorneys as well, attorney service, uh, insurer needing mental lies from mentally deranged psychiatrists who all the while, if Steve ever found out, is the only reason that they're in business. Steve was miracle making way back when. Was that information to never want understood? So you think that's a defense, huh? To continue these kind of behaviors that are outlined, and we'll have some ledger-like narrations to give and share a more meaningful and academic-minded approach here at this. I disagree over there, right? In the act caught. But they need to be killed also, as sure as they're trying to, and did try and killed so many after we asked you not to be killing. Like you all seem to think it's la-di-da to do. Like that one especially, acting as if Steve the bad guy. doing the killing too, when it was Wendy Lindley and her subjugates that brought about nuclear wars we're not discussing enough of. If you get an opportunity to fight that sort of thing, it wants to fight and lie because you're a murdering liar. That's why. And we said all judges, all of them. What is it you didn't understand about it? A inclusionary area of, let's start with U.S. local judges. Never enough. Well, if we saw, like we did see, you did see, we pulled aside, we pulled aside, we pulled aside, we pulled. Is that recidivism or is that B6 enumeration repeater? We pulled aside, as if to subpoena like we're doing here, need to be dead first. With excruciating, not hibernating and coming back from the dead and laughing in our face. He'll never find out. Scam to do me, us, it, the whole deal away again, again, and again. You have nothing to say or do. Just turn yourself in. Is what I asked. Since you so terribly escalated, exacerbated, continued to not only make a mockery, contemptuous mockery, and kill, and aid and abet in others getting killed, to say a marshal service needs to make sure they never did, though, make sure individuals were pulled aside, debriefed, talked to, or eye for an eye, remanded, and executed summarily. That table you're not supposed to walk away from, please. Any reasonable regard for no such thing as reasonable to her, they, Loyola, altogether. No such thing as a real attorney, public defender, not real. Where do we start? We catch you at lying. No 24/7, 365 everyday affair, 26 years everyday affair. Telepathically, mind control like, as if in Jane's Weekly type of connotations. Most desired type of. I'm not a murderer and liar. Yes, you are. You're not a lawyer. You're a murderer and an impartiality, a bigot, prejudice, making a try that I don't like rear end, ream them and kill them type people. And it shows in your case, yours also. Why should I like those? They want to ream and kill me. Oh, I disagree. Let's ream and kill you. Or figure out a way to make it real. No such thing as the creator there, like you're trying to start a fire, a flame, a fury. That's why he needs to be taking out Ricky together, both of them. You might think Rick is a 5 foot or 6 foot, Steve. So let's fight F-bomb murder all the way around is all you're about there. Aggravate mayhem and you're on the loose. Your types. Try to take Sullivan's life and breath and not save him and try to pit him against Secret Service. You're pitting him. You need any hurricane, Steve, or any wars? No, no, sir. You want to take a swing? I'll give you 1,000. No, sir. Left-right arguments. Not to you because you're a murder killer wanting to fight physically and rape like this guy did. and does, and abduct, like this guy did and does. And I object, and I objected. Objection, Your Honor, you can't do that, sir. And this guy doesn't care. There's nothing about it. Whatever. Steve's the bad guy. One track mind. Also been reamed and raped by telecare's know-how too many times. The black magic type, way even worse than that. Ways of getting an unopportune statement or act at an unopportune time, at an unopportune sudden appearance. That's why they do it. So any way to take whoever, however, on approach, on arrival, take them out with the eye for an eye excruciating is where I really not ream them and make more like he did and they did instead. That wasn't the security I needed. I disagree. You want to lie about it and ream and kill. I'm not. Let's fight about it. Change the subject. Harbor. To harbor something. So by asking the whoever, however, in on it clients exactly though, to pull a fast one on me, us, it, yourselves, everyone, anyone, and it shows. We ask you to turn yourself into Jack Chapman. I shared to, you tried to make murder tries at me with others, so it said Damien there to help you. Very bad, detestable pervert, murderers. That's your answer, huh? Clinton too? Yep, that's their answer too. Phony warrants up in the air. Give me back my warrant. I want to serve it on Steve. You're not funny. Laughing in your face about it too. In the act too. That's indicative. Conducive, not indicative of why they need to be eye for an eye excruciating their types. Because nice, funny, friendly, pass the baton, you do a better job. Want to murder us and laugh in our face. There are no ways and means a threat on my end, terrorist threat either, but are in fact the terrorists, not Steve. These are the perpetrators too. So to say thorough, yes, Steve is pretty thorough sometimes, but a one-man deal is not a very good way to treat a pass the baton deal, but by any way, shape, and form has no implication or inclination to change is where and why I'm at. So by thinking phony letterhead, whether we brought him back to life, let's fight about it, lie about it all. He doesn't see me. Mad at Steve because of the image written all over your faces. And then some. Guns got to do the talking because Skype over here and friendly messaging, you got to get ready to make the most out of it. I haven't, this situation. No such thing as the image. Want to lie? Got other ideas to show and exhibit. Mad at Steve. Have no control of their behaviors. Has lost control. So dick in my mouth from Damien or whoever, however, I got a problem because I speak up and testify accurate and describe accurate what is and what should never be as far as legal, illegal, becoming victimized, abused, safety, never public safety, resource possibility, the idea. So don't know the difference between good guys and bad guys because you murder too much, Sandra Hutchens. But that is the problem. You want to fight Steve or pull a fast one with Ricky here, down there, seeing if any way possible catch in the act. Did they get him yet? I don't find this amusing. I don't find this funny. I don't find this a reason or cause to even more so to behave or not behave in a manner conducive to civil. My clinic. So you think over here that Seal Beach will nuke you, do bomb you, try to blow up the building as many times? I got a badge too, pal. I'm a security clearance above your president's corporal punishment is what we really, Steve. Really, I wouldn't. You would doubt it. I didn't, especially at the time. Or put you in a hell place cell where you belong. If you want to live so long and don't die, you got a chip on your shoulder that way, like you got. So no, sir. Let's fight about it and laugh in your face. Yeah, but they're not getting the. What we need is a mini affirmative. So funny, friendly phone call, funny, friendly go-betweens, not screw any possibilities that were ever could ever be in the rear end as well and screw them over very, very which way. But you're doing that though. I disagree. I don't know. So here we have it, Your Honor, ladies and gentlemen, higher courts of court. These are the culpable individuals that are, especially wit too, and the mental health, every one of them involved with my name on it. Like in denial, Huntington Beach Police Chief, nothing to do with the table over here. See, and you're up there, however you can stab, whatever, make a mockery, contemptuous, any way you can. Mad at Steve, mad at the image, the omnipotent God, as it still is in good godly form right here, right now. I disagree. What do you want to talk about? You've got my number. Can you carry on a conversation without making a threat? Let's go check your machine. In the event or had any consensus to work something out, been stipulated, shared, given, Maggie, we tried to say hello. Very, very, very bad, bad, good, bad, bad. She did go on the air the first night or two at a UN type of stand. Yeah, better, yeah, UN, wow, happy. Only to see what you did to her togetherlies. That I'm not too happy about. Same with Shelley. Not happy about that either. Stipulating. Let's go to our voicemail. Don't put Bob Anderson on there, returning from a hiatus of how we're going to tie him up or do Steve up any old which way, still and still and still. Expect me to not want you remanded as well this far along your fighting, guys. Let's not bring care unit in here as many times as I see you did, though. Some guitar noises. Guitar noises. Harassments. Stalking. Got other ideas still, unfortunately. That's frightening too. No, but you're using Bob or somebody to do a track, see if you could catch me off guard and kill me. I do try to, did try to make friends. Stipulating. So you got nothing to say, huh? Any way to pull a fast one on Steve and let's bring him in and say, I don't know anything about it. That's what I said. I looked at how that is the business of that is the business matter. My interpretation right there, you're not really a judge. You're in on it, individuals trying to psych and make me break down to using F bombs again. It's like something else is the matter. And when you got drugs yourself scheduled and asked and solicited to be killing me, tainting me over here at the pharmacy, wherever, however, one good injection of Consta waiting for you. And you're laughing in my face about it too. I think you got a nerve to talk about drugs. The kind of drugs you want me to take? Let me make sure it's set up real good to kill you, Steve. Any old which old reason I don't say to do that. If you were a La Leche scene at 30% of the population had a little bit too many murders under their hip for 2 or 3 or 5 or 10, but quadrillions and trillions and thousands each, millions a day, a gratification need, upstate going to prison, want to talk and laugh. They do that there too. Didn't I know? Epidemia when I saw it. So by letting my machine roll as long as you could, and leave it, hopefully it would, this way no one can get nothing to say, nothing to say, but let's see if he can, this antics and tactics he's using. Phony baloney mental health. And all the while, if I ever found out, out for blood too. Making phony diagnosis statements, talking about drugs. You want to talk about drugs? Is that it? The idea? Huh? You don't. Only when the weather's good or April Fool's Day, or if you had these murder problems like I see you do and laugh and make a mockery as phony testimonials, sidesmanship that you're there to falsify everything to do. You're not really a court officer, again, every one of you. So why do you assemble? To make fun and mockery of the Supreme Courts we had up? Or this guy, what he does and did? To the left, Rigoberto Jimenez, like you're still doing, and you're in denial and a liar too. And a very bad recidivist murderer. Let me get whoever, however, to help me lie and escalate. Seated, stayed, vindicated every day, 1,000 different times. Let's say since the last phony baloney graduation. Don't want to call phony baloney. What have us there? That stipulation. Every day, a recidivist try. It saw who prevailed. Just get him. Get him is all you got to say. In the place of, or in the mention of, failing and neglecting to mention of as well. 24/7, 360, lying right there for a fight. Mutation is what you are. Endangering all the others that they love to see endangerment. That death sentence decree on her, that they togetherly, more in line and in place, they especially also, that all the way is not necessary and a fiduciary to me and you and them when I don't murder and all they do. Pictured. Want to escalate. So any way to take your end out, asking them to misconstrue and summarily execution is really you too. Any qualms about it? You don't even want to leave a message of any sort. And this is 26 years. You too, you're a liar. No such thing as a real attorney. Asking Ricky, who creamed everybody's behind he could, and is so big a parasite like George Bush is and everyone and anyone. Didn't even have a chance or opportunity to argue for the victimized because too busy murdering and lying about it with other ideas from the get-go. Love to see him in jail. Like I see all you do is escalate. That is what you did. You need to be smoked right there. Boom! There you have it, General Schwarzkopf and others. Pretend I didn't talk to you or didn't talk to them or pretend I didn't use that name or not pretend. Now pretend is not our business, not your business. And if it was, what do you think she would want to make it be? Why you loose lips? We asked to put a footer. No, you didn't. But we did, and you heard, oh, I didn't. Lie, whatever it is, something else got to be an issue. So if you get a bill, a polite, friendly little bill, as an attempt to recover and establish a more reputable and logical ways and means of being understood as valuable and invaluable, to value something like your lives, for example, our lives, the lives, others you take. Insurer, please. In an effort to bypass the unpleasantries, like trying and acting as if a building belongs to me, us, the Defense Department, to be particularly accurate. We're going to seated, stayed, and vindicated. Thinks it's a better idea maybe to go in through the back and ask it. Just send bills, send a few bills. That's what we said. That they can bypass it. Oh, we're busy. Okay, you're busy. Okay, we're busy. Just send a bill. You'll be okay. They'll get over it. Seems to be a you'll get over it type of measure. All right, that's what we're gonna do. Yes, we are. Friendly, and you're gonna start doing music and try to pass the baton and change the subject a lot. Not dwell on kind of soundage and try to go cut shut that kind of sounds. There'll be hard drives to share, all kinds of things. 60 seems like a retirement deal. Monsters looking at that. Sure, you don't need any hurricanes, earthquakes, erupting volcanoes. Insure, ding, ding, ding. No, sir. Thank you, sir. Any wars, cataclysm? No, 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 sir. Homeland, so warn them about me and act like a bad guy. B6 written all over your forehead. Because seniority, because want to fight. Don't know how to be cool about want to fight because your personal involvement in your personal inventory of murders. Typical run of the mill, turn yourself in, do your time, fall on your own sword. Those are orders. You get in the way or part of the way. It's the way and in the way. And if I told you, don't let the doorman or the nice Israeli generals find out, try to do this incognito, cover B. Do I need you to tell lies in the FBI when I call the FBI, give me an IP address and bring you back to life too many times? Do I need to see you be an infidel and call me a liar on everything, anything you can and did? And sell out the whole West East Coast again because of these local areas of enforcement and mental health and local judges with other ideas? And if I told you about monster orgy sex that is reprehensible and not allowed, what do you think I got an FBI for? This line is supposed to be not goof around line, please. So please call that off and be more professional if possible. Thank you. If applicable, thank you, sir. We'll come back in another segment of we'll let a bunch of these lawsuit um, interps and informationals. We'll do that in another video. What did you say? If we could, would Your Honors, pay the man, do the work, do a good job, was the verdict. Don't do those things anymore, please. Who's confused? Stan got ideas? Germany's got ideas if they're back up again? Fight to the fullest extent, this far along, this outright in your face, pal. You're not that. You're not going to be able to ever come home pretty quick the way you're going at it. More? You're in way so deep, so terrible that one man staff is not enough. I told you that. But any funding that came or went to pay the enemies, whoever would do something bad to Steve, as you're still doing. Say millions, billions, you stole the treasury, you did this, you did that. You're not texting anything to do with cooperative, engage. Very, very, very bad to see. So, in other words, I don't know how to pay the men, do the work, do a good job. I don't know what the work should ever be. Is that where we're at with you, county worker, aggressor? Don't come over here and turn the deed over to the Defense Department. Its interest of now there is a little bit of a Navy, U.S. Navy intelligence. No such thing as Navy military. None of that. Nah, we're gonna simulate. So to be or to have a to be you have to kind of improvise. And you're not Jack Chapman. You're a pervert trying to murder me and disagree with everything I can. However, can send the most perverted, detestable to say, "Oh, I run with him." Don't do that.
Three, if in its own regarded, a communist leader's concerted atomic conspiracy's readiness to dislodge our tenants' residents the subject of same double sides to live their lives as U.S. counterparts, the fallacies of disingenuous detention bring may be
And so we would share one more time before we stipulate here. Any to contend otherwise, please bring it here so we can see and hear it while we have this up in front of united and cosmic areas of councils to listen and hear and share while we did and do have this up togetherly. Yes, I would know the answer if you're trying to make a try instead of trying to make the most out of the ways and means that we show our face and intercept real bad predications of no sir, keep it coming. And that seems to be what you're doing too here still. If warrant officers, how many dry runs? I don't want to brag about that. 30, 50 since the last 3 years. So you want to make a mockery and laugh in my face. That's what you're doing though here. See? Is that accurate to describe? Yes, it is, but that isn't what I want to see as a fate, and I want it just in spite alone. And that's a very bad thing to fall victim if it was a La Leche scene. But that is a very serious case of nothing I want to be associated with as far as those kind of murders in that manner. You don't follow either, do you? Because you're too guilty of it too. Manny's friends, them, and every, like I did say, and I did express, in every need to turn yourself in and do your time and don't get in the way and don't leave court. Don't leave court and don't leave that table at court. And I'll share and stipulate why. Because police chief doesn't want to understand and wants to clown around. That's why. And it shows. That rank and file, that chain of command. I'm not going to mention any other names. The cemeteries is supposed to be a nice place to phase advance. Not, I got your soul, or guess what I do and did with it. Problems you're all here for. So I don't want them to ever get released because you're so proud of doing a bad thing in the act togetherly. Aren't you brave and bodacious, phony judge? Phony judgments. If it were up to me, well, I would shellac these so bad, so hard, and put them in a place they'd never ever forget to ever do what they do or did, and still with no sign of saying, oh, that, no yielding, concessions, and behavioral. Inappropriateness, never enough. Capital crimes we'll have up here, right, in nice ledger form so you can see each and every charge. You deserve to never ever and get your eye for an eye, and they're coming too. Be careful. Okay.
Preface 3. If in its own regarded, a communist leaders concerted it. 6. In an effort to be of service and s moreover in regarded as factual, that of acute hearing perception s, otherwise explained in public defenders' offices as telepathic-like communion between relay assuagements and trusted opposition. These are the grounds for tentative dismissal of phony detention, bring depictions and cause for celebration. Did we seat so Wardley? Causes of judgment: legal actions against the County of Orange. For the cartographic topography side in S, God the Father of embryos we see is an assimilation of that which once was. Therefore consider your meditation and devotional work ethic and reserve a phony accosting subject for something substantive to walk on. If you can't walk on this water, we say. 5. If as suchly the word of wafer adages a contention to build thereupon, oppose neither a sequester nor an photographic display that is heaven sent, for by.
So we'll sarcasm not you first, okay? Guilty ones, Osire, malicious, seditious as well, impunities. And that's, and you did not, you need to contend. Let's hear what you have to say. I am under arrest. See, that's what you had to say. Words don't mean a thing to murderers on the loose that deserve eye for an eye. That's why. So I have to try to pick it up and give you the eye for an eye you deserve. Anyone else got something to share and stipulate? Thank you. Stipulating there. Thank you. All encumbrances are forcing something on me, us, it. Didn't want to keep it 1,000 or 2 ahead of the situation. At value and in value. Did you murder, by the way? You did, though. And told a lie there at another unit to go there. So you're an unfair witness accounting that needs to be taken into custody for it is perjury to lie in this case. Why did you falsify the stipulations? We have the particulars, the material facts, everyday affair. You all kind of pretty much murder. Material fact. So laugh. Satellite type of deal and do all the others away. Creation. Material facts. I tell you what I do, which if you I disagree, did not put anything, not even, you didn't even establish a forum about it. We tried to do material facts. Funny, throw you in jail and murder all you can. Ricky will help. That's contemptuous mockery, and in the face of the guilty parties, even psyching and situating. No, sir. Other ideas to keep it coming even more so. Material facts I don't like or need. Who's anybody confused on that? No contested. That get it together quick, please. And however, whoever you look at it, insurance, ding, ding, ding. To bypass your murdering, lying, want everybody involved to make a big boo. In these efforts to not make a mockery and laugh in our face like you did, and are doing, with phony, lying, murdering witnesses and phony, lying, unlawful assemblies is what we call them. All the courts and all the land. Do I want to make a big issue with that? No. Want to make an issue of getting back on track? Yes. Somebody got different ideas about it. And stipulations, threats, all you're making is threats. You're a guilty party. Why do you lie? No telepathy, first step. You just did lie, though, with Ricky's guns. Mercurio, whoever, however I ever knew anybody, laughed too. That caught you in the act. And they need to be summarily executed, put in detention, I say. That table, do not leave. Stay there. Do not come back. That was an order. Whether or not you're going to take it or that, or whether or not that, but I labeled it as an order. Any other contentions? Stay away from this matter, please, if you're not authorized or feel you're authorized, or if you've got a pair of nines and jacks are better to open it, put it nicely, never put it nicely. Gambling's not a good thing. May a good word be protected and served that I give, shared, and stipulated to emerge neither victimized by these and their capers in the act, and made more life far and free away from these type of in the act predications of no sir. May good words, good thoughts, good deeds, good insurance indemnities and qualifications to understand and have a better understanding realization for getting yeah, they're kind of stuck. It's not a cut shut get affirmative sir. Two different sounds. And to kid around and tell a lie and assemble like you did and they're doing, Ricky and whoever, however, and that is what your name is at a higher court's accord. The last thing you'd ever want to do is sit up here and be friendly. No, don't know how to be friendly about it. Don't know how to debate in a friendly way. No, don't know, just shoot. If you ever caught me as mad at Steve, wanting to act like there's no such thing as the cartoon-like phenomena, the image that could speak, intercept, Huntington Beach, will you? Individual we let come back home or not coming back home for a little bit there, being abducted in a way in a flying saucer ship. You don't talk about still very, very many other bad things going on. I don't side or stipulate. I do stipulate. Subversive language is not a nice thing either. Front lines warfare want to laugh at my face and everything or anything you can do. You pay who, how much to do that instead, and never do you uphold life anymore. Or did you ever? But you swore an oath in front of somebody watching. So you want to incriminate administrative authorities better more. Is that your answer angle? And so by seeing you need to be remanded corporally really, really bad, really, really terribly bad, that uncontested, that's where I'm going to rest my case today. Court is now adjourned. Turn yourself in. If you need is to get in the way and more of the same, which we say never to do, four-door wanting to go click, each and every one of them, I got superpower, all to do the wrong type of behaviors under my roof, my rules, my awareness, if I had a say in the matter, and if the laws are supposed to be, especially the ones that internationally, cosmically, self as others, are meant to protect and serve the interests of they who come endowed with peaceful, worthy aims, especially in self as others, they can dish out, they can take. And one more connotation of do as your parents say and not as they do can help. Court is now adjourned. Please remain seated and stay at and get it worked out. Do not come over here asking questions or threatening or stupefying. That is stipulated before we contend, adjourn again. May good Lord be praised, protected, served, far and free away from they who have other psychs and sides and so terrible a need to be watched and re-guided in straight paths that are falling through the cracks. May it be protected and served to pass the baton in a constructive, polite, peaceful manner and move the mission, prove the mission, move the mission, on and on. Amen, 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 amen. Goodness intended, goodness heavenly, yeah. Amen, amen again. Over and out now, sir. Over and out, sir. Over and out, sir. Over and out, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am, sir. Thank you, sir.